Hi everyone, this is Aunt Danny from Peekaboo, and I'm going to show you how you can add intrigue and interest to your photos using symmetry and asymmetry. Shooting symmetrical pics is a cool way to create visual balance. You can find symmetry in architecture and nature and people almost anywhere. Here's a vertically symmetrical image. Imagine folding this photo exactly down the middle, right through the center of the building. The left and right sides are virtually mirror images of one another. Now here's a horizontally symmetrical photo. The top and bottom mirror one another over an imaginary middle horizontal line. Sometimes you'll shoot images that are perfectly symmetrical both horizontally and vertically. For instance, in this photo you can see that it's basically the same top to bottom and left to right. Same thing with this pic, or at least almost. Architecture is a great subject for symmetrical photos like this street in London, this college library, and Peekaboo's headquarters. There's also symmetry in nature. Look at flowers, leaves, and trees. Some of the most stunning symmetrical photos are where nature and human-constructed objects meet. But don't take symmetry too literally. The two sides don't need to be perfect mirror images. We're talking about the idea of symmetry. Basically, just balance. And remember, people are symmetrical too. Whether you're snapping pics of individuals or of groups of people, symmetry can work really well for you. I love this black and white shot of my 3 kids on a covered bridge. Great example of symmetry. Now, while symmetry is a great way to add some balance to your photos, breaking symmetry is by no means a bad thing. Many awesome photos that you see every day are asymmetrical. Take a look at this photo. Rather than centering the soldier in the frame, I shifted my camera so that the soldier stands on the left side of my image. Like a seesaw, the weight lies on only one side of the photo and creates tension and adds interest. Most of the time, I actually prefer to compose my photos asymmetrically because asymmetrical photos create a dynamic that draws you in. Usually, asymmetrical photos are more energetic. They force your eye to travel all over the photo. Asymmetry is also great for portrait composition. And see how the offset diagonal lines of the containers make the pic so appealing you want to devour these strawberries now. And in my opinion, why settle for a boring head-on photo of the Eiffel Tower when you can just tilt your camera and get this dynamic night shot? There are just so many ways to experiment with asymmetry. One way is to compose your frame so the weight or areas of prime interest lie on 2 opposing corners. Here, the girls and horse in the lower left corner provide a counterpoint to the higher mountain in the upper right-hand corner. Also, sometimes I think it's cool to add just a touch of asymmetry to an otherwise symmetric composition. For example, the building in the background of this New York City shot adds interest and dynamic energy to what would otherwise be a pretty standard photo of my 3 kiddos. And in this photo, you can see that the girls are sitting nearly symmetrically to one another, both horizontally and vertically. Yet there's also a certain asymmetry to the image with more weight leaning slightly to the left. What this does is it keeps the image interesting, but at the same time more natural. I love the energy in this photo. There's some great tension here. The composition is basically symmetrical, but the subject has a push-me-pull-you effect. My daughters are pulling back while their kid cousin is annoyingly waving or pushing an alligator into their faces. Okay, so that's a quick primer on symmetry and asymmetry. Remember, these are just guidelines to get your creative juices flowing. There are no right answers. So now it's time to get creative and start experimenting with symmetry and asymmetry in your photos. And don't forget to share your best pics with us at inspireus@peekaboo.com or post them on social media using the hashtags PeekabooPhotobooks, and your life is worth printing.